So sadly, we lost another Albany County woman to the virus overnight. She was in her 90s. My condolences and prayers go out to the family, to the 117 from yesterday and the new one today. Again, it is difficult times that we're going through, and we're saying goodbye a little bit differently in the new world that we have to reimagine what things look like. So to lose a loved one at this time, regardless of your age, if you're in your 90s, 100s, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, it's still tough for families. So my prayers and condolences go to you and to all the 118 families that are going through this. Virus is still there, people. Hasn't gone away. I know our numbers are getting better and things are going good, but it's still out there and it's still affecting people, so keep that in mind. One of the things we talked about when we were tracking from all the protests and everything going on, we had 78 people go to our Warren Street and to get tested. Took a little bit longer than we thought, but we got the test results back. Other than 5, 6 that we still haven't tracked down yet, they're having an issue tracking them down. All of them came back negative, which was good. So that says that you had your mask on and you're doing the right stuff. Doesn't mean we should be massively gathering and all that other stuff, but it just says that we went in the right direction on that. And I'm very, very happy to see the fact that all of them came back with being negative, so which is completely good. So as of today, we have 1,819 positive cases of the coronavirus in Albany County. It's up 6 from yesterday. We have 458 people under mandatory quarantine. That's down by 11 since yesterday. And again, and then the precautionary stays the same, which is good. Everything's going right. As of today, we have 5,158 people that have completed quarantine. That's down 28 from yesterday, and out of those, 1,567 tested positive for the virus, and 14 recovered from that, so which is also good. There's now 11 people hospitalized. We're down 2 from yesterday, which is great. The hospitalization rate's 0.60%. Yesterday it was 0.71%, so that's good stuff. We stay the same with the ICU, 0 in there. And our average, though, our 5-day average goes up a little bit. It was 4.6 before, and now it's 5.4 because obviously the slight increase. But again, things going all in the right direction, moving us forward. I continue to tell everyone, please get tested. Our mobile test sites, we're going to keep up for the next couple of weeks. We're reevaluating that. We reached out to the Black Caucus. I reached out to our legislators. I've talked to Wanda Willingham. We reach out to the ministers in Albany Housing and to everyone, stakeholders in the community where we have the mobile testing. We need to get the numbers up, and if not, we're going to have to adjust and come up with another plan. But we steadily, had more people come in to get tested, and that's a good thing. Same thing with Rite Aid on Central Avenue. As always, the drive-through, you can go to their website, riteaid.com. Also, UAlbany with essential and non-essential workers that you can go to the Seth Q Arena for essential workers and the people through the drive-through. Our number for the mobile testing site, as always, is 518-465-4771, 518-465-4771, and then for UAlbany, the number is 188-364-3065. And please, for the Priority 1 in Gilliland, great partner we've had with them. The old 20 Mall, people still know it as a 20 Mall. You can call there and get the antibody testing done for area code 518-867-8040. So, it's difficult times with the virus that we're going through, and we're getting out of it. And I know, we got some questions back. Why are the numbers so low? People are out more. Why are things still shut down? There's a science to it, and I've said this before. We have a control room that we meet, or I shouldn't say we meet. We talk every day at 1400 with the other 7 counties that are involved with this. We discuss all these different ideas. Again, our numbers are great. I wanted to open up early, and I was hoping that the governor would give us a little early present and say, hey, Albany County and Capital District, you can open up before Wednesday. To get back on track. We've been fighting for small businesses because they're the backbone of our community. The small business in our community, the ones that have been shut down, are going to be the hardest to get back up and running and get them back to to where they used to be, it's going to be tough. And anyone knows that owns a small business, there's a lot of things up against you already, from the high, insurance policies, the stuff to deal with workers' comp and everything like that. So it makes it challenging for these companies. So we do want to be there to support you, and there's a variety of different programs we can help you out with here in the county and through the state, and obviously the city mayor, Kathy Sheen, launched that program from the grant funding from the last stimulus package 4, I believe, from the feds. So there's money there to help you to stay open and to get you reopened. At the same time, I had the question early on, it's actually 14 weeks today. 14 weeks since I've held my first press conference, and 93 days later. And one of the questions we kept getting early on, what's the financial impact? What cost are you? How much are you off in revenue? And I said this, and I still say this as I sit here. First and foremost, it's the safety and health of the residents that come first and foremost. Finances, buildings, you can repair. You can fix buildings, you can build new buildings, but you can't replace people. And we have to make sure that we do this right, and we open up correctly. And most importantly, though I have been worried about the finances, people didn't need that at the time as we're going through this COVID-19 epidemic. We didn't need to hear about finances and have me standing here crying basically over, hey, look, we're 35 million in the hole, sales tax revenue's off. We had enough to worry about. We need to open up, and we need to get moving in the right direction, and we need to be positive. And we need to work in a partnership, not with just our state and feds, but with the city, towns, and villages, so we all get back on track and get moving in the right direction. So I thought, who better than to have on our controller, Sue Rizzo, to come in and talk about what she's been doing, and our bond rating, which I have to tell you, you did a great job. She's hit the ground running in the middle of this epidemic. We thought, we were used to that, things not being so quick out of that office, but the fact that you've hit the ground running, and I will just say, driving us a little crazy, because when you want to answer, you want it then, but which has been good in the bond rating and saving us $1 million. So I can't thank you enough, because every dime that we save going forward is going to help us. It's going to move us in the right direction, but not just what you're doing with the bonds and holding us stable, and I'll let you talk about it because you did a good job. Holding us stable with our bond rating says a lot in these difficult times, because let's face it, with the amount of Americans out of work right now, 75,000 in the Capital Region alone, people's reserves going down, I can't thank you for your due diligence that you did, but please, Sue Rizzo, our County Controller.
Thank you, County Exec McCoy. Today, I'd like to briefly discuss some highlights of what the Comptroller's Office has been doing to help improve the county's finances. Last week, our office completed a refinancing of $7.2 million of the county's outstanding debt. The refinancing will save the taxpayers, like County Exec McCoy indicated, over $1 million. We reduced the interest rate to 0.59% as compared to the original rate of 2.3%. As part of this refinancing, S&P reviewed the county's credit worthiness and reaffirmed its rating of AA with a stable outlook, while other municipalities were downgraded due to the pandemic. Why is this important? The higher the rating, the lower the interest rate. Keeping our credit rating is a testament to the financial stability of Albany County, as well as a result of the reorganization of the Comptroller's staff, including the addition of people with vast financial experience. Additionally, we completed new borrowing totaling $4.1 million for essential capital projects with a net interest rate of 1.74%. These projects include equipment for Shaker Place Rehabilitation and Nursing Center, the construction and repair of county roads, and improvements to the Sheriff's Public Safety Building. The Comptroller's Office worked closely with the Department of Management and Budget, especially with Commissioner Thalen and other county departments throughout this process. This cooperative effort allowed for limited borrowing during this unprecedented global pandemic. In the past, the Comptroller's Office would often borrow too much, too early. Going forward, we plan to continue to work diligently with county departments to practice responsible borrowing by creating a timeline for capital projects and determining when cash is actually needed. Finally, the Comptroller's Office has been working with the Department of Management and Budget to address capital projects that were never closed. We plan to transfer several $1 million to the debt reserve and use the funds to pay principal and interest on the county's current debt. Unfortunately, per IRS rules and regulations, past borrowings that were identified for very specific projects cannot be used for new projects going forward. We are currently working with the county's financial advisor and bond counsel to prevent this situation from happening again in the future. What does this mean in today's pandemic? A lot. The county is projecting a deficit. By correcting the county's books and records, we can free up some cash to help with this deficit. I'd like to also highlight, since the Controller's Office will be doing several audits, we hired a certified internal auditor. The Controller's Office is currently engaged in process audit relating to capital projects. Another audit we started was an accounts receivable audit. In these turbulent times, closely monitoring our financials and efficient process is imperative. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. And I do appreciate everything. And it's been a long six months, wow, that you've been here. It feels like it. And, working together and trying to get things done and move the county in the right direction, because people tend to forget. We got a $730 million budget. There's a lot of money that goes into the bank accounts. There's money that goes into different accounts. And with your guidance and going forward with bonding and everything else, it's, we save money. There was a lot of capital projects that we canceled because of everything going on. And this is why I brought Sean Thalen, our budget director for the county. I know that the two of you have been working very closely together to going back and forth with a lot of the finances and what projects need to go right now and what can wait because of the epidemic we're in and what don't we need to spend. And it's been good. It's been a learning experience for all of us. So, this has been good going forward. But Sean, do you want to talk about our budget, where we are with the sales tax revenue? We announced last time the sales tax revenue was pretty much flat. I think it only had a growth of 1% maybe.
Yeah, for the first quarter, we were at, we were roughly a point or two down for year over year, which wasn't that bad as the epidemic had started by the time the first quarter was about to close. But out of that $730 million that you were discussing there, sales tax represents 40% of our budget. It's by far the largest revenue source. Roughly 290 million, which 180 and 190 million of that stay here with us in Albany County, but the other 100 million goes to our municipalities within the county. So the towns and villages also feel the effects when you have a sales tax turnaround like that. For every dollar that we get from property tax, $2 is represented in sales tax. So when that number falls short, that burden, we have to think of some ways to minimize that so the taxpayer doesn't feel it as much as we can, so, and still provide the services that we're mandated to and the people within our community need. So.
And I think a lot of people don't realize how much of our programs that we run here in the county are unfunded mandates, meaning the Senate and Assembly and the governor decides what we're going to run, and they make us run these programs, and we have to pay for it. And that's what makes things difficult going forward at times, because we don't have any control or say over it. And then you look at the programs that we do run that have an impact on the community, and these are things we have to balance out in difficult times. And it's just not the county, it's the cities and towns. We all have to work together. I've talked to a couple supervisors up in the hill towns. I've talked to mayors and supervisors. They're all nervous because it's going to be a difficult budget process. The second quarter comes in after July 1st.
Correct. Yeah. We should have it roughly the first week of July. We should have a pretty good handle on where we'll be there.
We'll have a handle on where we're going to be there, and a lot of this depends on too. And some conversations I had with the controller is whether or not how much of a stimulus package 5 are we going to get. Now they're talking end of June. Now it's the end of July. How much relief are we going to get? Thank goodness for Senator Schumer getting the FMAP to us and redirecting that so it comes back to the counties and doesn't stay in the state's hands. But there's a lot of variables, but we'll get through this together, and we got to continue to run programs. We got to continue to help the vulnerable population in our county, seniors and young people and middle income people, to effectively continue to move services forward. And Sue and Sean, I can't thank you enough. And Controller, it's this is refreshing to have this relationship so we can move forward in a positive direction and come up with solutions, because that's what we need. And we're all going to get through this by working together in a partnership, not pointing fingers, but to try to get this done so we can continue to deliver the great services we do here in Albany County. So thank you to the two of you. Some good news. I want to say to my old football coach from Albany High, Jim Sano, who keeps bothering me. I'm not a student anymore, Coach, so stop bugging me. But opens up the pool every year at the Italian American Center. Yes, you can open it, but you have to send your guidance to the health department. We have to sign off on it. The governor gave us that power back. I know a lot of municipalities, listen, people don't believe it or not, it's a city pool or a town pool is not like a regular pool you have in your backyard. It takes time and coordination to open it up, so a lot of them already called it that they're not going to. I believe Mayor Sheen's like doing the spray booths, that type of stuff, spray pads, and they're going to handle that a little bit differently this year than other years. I think the city of Cohoes did in town of Colony, because it takes time, and if they start opening up now, they won't probably not to August, but I'm strictly talking to like the Italian American Center, Norman Side Country Club, Jewish Community Center. I could just go down the list of people that do have pools, and there are regs out there. You're supposed to stay at least 6 feet apart from in the pool. Obviously, they put in the regs, which was good. Don't wear your mask in the pool, only when you get out of the pool. If you're with family members, you can congregate and pool together. If you're not family members, you can't. So there's guidance. So I say to everyone, please make sure. I know a lot of people already submitted plans for pool reopening and stuff like that, but submit them to us. We'll sign off on them and get you going, which is good news. The other big question we keep getting is about baseball and softball. Please send us your guidance. As soon as we get the green light through the control room, we will let you know. I know difference between pickleball and handball and all that. I don't know. I don't know who comes up with the rules. We just got to follow with the guidance they put out with us. Had a lovely debate with somebody over pickleball and racquetball versus baseball, and I'm like, well, I never played any of them sports, so or I should say, I played baseball and wasn't good at it. But the reality is, I don't know, can't argue. I don't know why they do what they do, but as we get guidance and continue to open up, we'll make sure that happens. I also want to thank the National Guard that was here from March 31st to June 5th. They helped deliver over 5,600 boxes of food to quarantine households and delivered over 1,500 different household goods. Thank you to the National Guard, to General Shields, who's the tag of the New York Guard, and I'm still in, so General doing a great job with the men and women in the New York Army National Guard and Air Force. So thank you for everything that you're doing for us here, and thank you to the troops that were here. Can't thank you enough for helping out, and now they got a new mission and they're moving on, but because our numbers are going down, so which is good, so they can go on and do something else and help out somewhere else in the community. Thank you so much to Ken Secor and the Bureau of Veterans for coordinating all this. Ken, thank you for what you're doing, and I do appreciate it. Some of the things like this month would have been Child Safety Seat month. We would have been at Cross Gates. We would have been at Colony Center. We would have been set up, helping to install car seats properly. So I want to bring that to everyone's attention. That's, obviously things are different, so we're going to have to re-engage that, how we do that going forward. But please, it's something that, make sure that seat is continue to get it checked, for the safety of seat installation. So I wish we could run it again. We're looking at when we can get it up and running to get the people in there with new babies and infants so we can protect them going forward. I want to say, as always, the mental health has done a phenomenal job. The questions they're fielding from people that are going out into the community and realizing there's a new world out there. Thank you to the men and women that answered them questions for them. So again, the mental health is still established 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The number is 518-269-6634. And our 24-hour sexual assault hotline number, as always, again, to Karen Ziegler and her team there, to crime victims, you do a great job, and it's tough, and I get it. 518-447-7716. And as always, the 211 in the New York State hotline at 188-364-3065. Please call whatever number you need. And again, I want to thank everyone for doing the right stuff. I know these last 14 weeks are difficult. I know that it's going to be difficult going forward. We're going to start, hopefully, get into Phase 3 a little bit earlier, but if not, Phase 3 starts Wednesday, June 17th, and seems like to be flying a little bit quicker. So again, thank you to everyone and to the essential workers that have kept us going forward. Thank you.